Hello everybody, Joe Bagadons here, welcome back for another episode of Umineko. As they say, sixth time is the charm when trying to record something. For some reason, I had weird audio hiccups. In fact, I still sound a little like I'm peaking in my microphone, so let me just drop my input volume down a little. Hopefully it doesn't sound that bad on your guys' end, but when I tried to start recording, I was absolutely peaking the mic on every single word. I had no idea what was going on. On OBS, I even have my microphone input level set to -5 decibels. That way, it's better balanced with the input from the game. That didn't fix anything. I lowered it all the way down to -45, and I could just hear it quietly peaking in the background. So I'm like, huh, that's strange. Let me unplug it, plug it back in. Maybe that'll fix it. Nope. Let me restart the computer. Nope. Let me switch out to my spare backup microphone, which sounds even worse. It wasn't peaking, but man, you can hear every single fucking echo in the room. Downside of being in a little boxy sunroom like this, without a good, I say good, my shitty fucking, what did I even pay for this? $60 Blue Yeti Nano? I got it on sale. Normally they're $80 or something. But for what it is, decent price. Anyway, moving on. Crazy. Then I just went to the audio settings and dropped on my PC's end the microphone input by 10 points. Now 15 now that I just did it as I was recording. Anyway, it's fine. I can fix it in post in Premiere. Maybe. Fingers crossed. I hope. Anyway, what's going on with you guys? You guys doing good? I'm a little tired. I'm a little sleepy boy. It's 1:30 p.m. Way past my bedtime, but I had a dentist appointment today, and they picked my teeth clean, and my teeth feel weird because they really have to pull on my teeth when they do the scraping on the bottom row because they're cramped. Looks like I got fucking kicked in the mouth by a horse. So when they take the metal scraper and they go behind them, it gets caught in my teeth. And they just go and fucking pull really hard, and it pulls on my teeth. So my gum line feels funky. Then they covered my mouth in fluoride. I think it was fluoride. So my teeth are all chalky. And they said I have to wait 4 to 5 hours before I drink anything hot. So I'm like, oh great. I wanted to go home and drink my coffee and record, but they're like, nope, can't do that. So now here I am, 5 hours later, with some tea, because, again, I forgot to buy coffee when I was out this morning, and just didn't, because I'm dumb and don't remember things. So now I have my black tea that I can sip on when I record this. Anyway, last time, theories afoot, Golden Land, kanji, ooh. Natsu could be seen in the study. When she muttered as though to herself, gold butterflies appeared and formed to the shape of a person.
楽観はできんぞ。このままぼんやりと過ごし、明日をしのげるとは思えぬ。
やはりお父様が不機嫌で出てこないというだけではごまかしきれませんか。
Not with that interloper Erica here.
去年の時点で相当の不信を持たれていたようだ。それにより膨れ上がった毒素は今やとぐろを巻くかのようにこの書斎を取り囲み締め上げている。
去年から疑われていただけではないでしょうな。
そうですね。
Man, all the fucking warriors.
それだけでは説明がつかないくらいに毒素は濃密に練り上げられています。おそらく金蔵様の死を去年の時点から疑い、今年の会議にて暴こうという強い意志があったに違いありません。去年の時点から騙しきれていなかったということですか。
You left him with an inkling, which isn't good.
残念ながら、そうお考えになる方が今はよろしいかと。明日も台風はとどまり、迎えの船は明後日になります。
They could tell something stinks, but
つまり、あと最低でも
now they got a hunch of what it might be.
36時間を持ちこたえねばならないということです。
夏日の目には見えぬであろうが、この部屋を閉ざす密室結界は極めて強固なものだった。それが今夜だけでボロボロに擦り切れ、嵐を待つ枯葉のようなありさまだ。
Just get blown away by the wind.
まさに嵐の真っ只中にありますよ、夏日様。私は密室結界を別のものに変えることを提案いたします。
Is there a
別のもの
backup?
というのはどういう意味ですか？つまり作戦を変えるという意味ですか？
さようでございます。私とワルギリア様で去年のものに近い結界を再構築します。
つまり去年のように金蔵を極力書斎の外に出し、毒素の影から影へと綱渡りをさせるということだ。危険ではあるが、わらわもそれを提案したい。
何ですって？今さら作戦を変えるというのですか？
Well, it's gonna fail anyway at this rate.
牢城では切り抜けられぬと分かった以上、城を捨てることも考えねばなりません。
この書斎はもはや敵兵に囲まれ、 城壁さえも破られかけた城に同
Time
じ。
to sally forth.
座せは死を意味するならば、玉砕を求めて最後の出陣をするのも手でしょうな。降伏できぬ戦いでしょうから。
お父様の秘密は最後の最後まで絶対に死守します。それを蹴取られれば
Is
言い
it,
繕う余
is
地
it
など
really his
何もない。
secret? Or your secret?
主人の横領は白日の下にさらされ、後ろ宮家の名誉は失墜します。断固としてそれだけは防がねばなりません。
落ち着け。分かって
You're
お
being
るわ。
hysterical.
クラウスの錬金術はじきに大勢を迎える。今年を乗り切ればなんとかなるのだ。
So business is alchemy now, I
だ
guess.
からうろたえるでない。
しかし去年と同じ手では無理だとして取った作戦が
I mean, the stock
この
market
牢
might as
城な
well
の
be
ですよ。
magic. So, not the worst analogy in the world.
一度は無理と切り捨てた作戦を再び選ぶのは愚の骨頂ではありませんか？一体今さらどういう筋書きを作るというのですか？
それは私とロノウェイで用意します。お任せを。幻想を生み出すのは魔女たちの役目。
It's like a crop duster or something flying around outside.
夏日様はそのご許可をくださるだけで結構でございます。
I'm used to the rumbling of like fucking jet
お
engines,
師匠
not a little
様もロ
fucking
ノウェもこういう時は
kind of
実に
airplane.
頼れるぞ。片翼のわしの使用人どもも家具としては優秀だ。お師匠様たちが魔法を再構築すれば、それを守るために働くだろう。今からでも決して遅くはない。金蔵を書斎から出し、その
Yep, time
幻
to take
想を
Kinzo
歩
out
き
for a
回ら
walk.
せよう。
Bring some plastic bags with you in case he shits on the floor.
その作戦を長く検討し、それで
Now,
も
once you
有
get
効
old,
な
you
もの
start
が
to
見出せ
kind
なかっ
of
た
lose your
から
faculties.
牢城を選んだことを忘れました
Better
か？
safe than sorry.
急場にうろたえ、軽々しく当初の作戦を投げ出すなど愚かしいことです。
しかし夏日様、牢城ではもはやしのぎきれぬことは毒素の真っ只中でそれを感じ取っておられた夏日様が一番ご存知のはずです。
私は牢城の方針は変えずに、なんとか他の作戦を考えられないかと提案します。
There's not really much you can do to change the plan of sitting in place and fucking blocking the
と
door.
にかくこの部屋を密室に保ちさえすれば、誰もお父様の存在を否定はできないのです。開けることのできぬ
Just come
猫
up
箱
with a
の
different
中身を
excuse,
断
I
定
guess.
することなど何人にもできないのですから。
Let's not talk about that.
確かに人間どもは不条理であるぞ。密閉した猫箱とてケーキの箱に群がる黒アリのように箱を食い破って中に入ることもあり得る。
Oh god, don't talk about ants. For some reason I have ants in my kitchen right now. I think it's because it's been unseasonably warm out, and continuing off of like the previous arc of the past weeks, you know, my neighbor cutting down all their trees, stirring all the bugs out of the ground. So now they're all out and about, and they're like, oh well, let's just try to get into this house instead now that like all the trees are gone. So I've been battling those. Probably doesn't help that I have like just peanut butter sitting around on my mouse traps, which I can probably put away because none of them have gotten anything in like over a month and a half. I think all I had were those 2 mice that already bit it. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea. Just have like peanut butter sitting on the floor, basically. I'm gonna go do that after this.
ベルンカステル教の駒も気になるしな。
エリカ様が晩餐の話題をさらってくださったのは幸いでした。
How so?
おかげで今夜の親族会議をお開きにできる雰囲気を生み出してくれたのですから、普段のように即座に親族会議となっていたら、今夜にも結界は破られていたかもしれません。
Alright, she was a bit of a distraction.
しかしそのせいでより濃密に毒素は練り上げられました。明日まで練り上げられた毒素は密室結界をたやすく犯すでしょう。籠城を続けるにせよやめるにせよ、どちらにせよ新しい作戦と結界を用意しなくては明日は乗り越えられません。
密室結界を破るための何かの策があるのかもしれぬな。あのエリカというこまめ。
Mm-hmm.
それを言えば例の19年前の復讐とかいう謎の男もベルンカステル教の駒かもしれません。18の駒で均衡が取れていた盤面に望まぬ駒が2つも追加された。
Yeah, not great for you
イレギュラーが多
guys.
すぎます、今年は。
ベルンカステル教は東洋趣味が終わりだったな。日本のチェス、将棋ではゲーム中に駒を追加することもできるというではないか。
It's like you can capture enemy pieces, and under the right circumstances, you can play them on your side.
ええ、可能です。
I don't know all the rules.
敵のキングの目の前に駒置き場より取り出したクイーンを置くことさえ将棋では許された切り札たる一手です。
19年前を語る男はどうしているのでしょう。この島のどこかにすでに潜んでいるというのでしょうか。
Is he the murderer?
あのエリカという少女が漂着と称して現れることができたのです。あの男もこの台風にもかかわらず島のどこかに上陸し息を潜めているのかもしれない。
Fucking running around the woods like Predator.
そして親族たちをもはや騙し切ることは難しく、どうしてこうもイレギュラーが重なるのですか。
Well, because now we're in the answer arc, so we gotta stir the
こ
pot
の悪
somehow.
夢と偶然の奇跡をどう説明すればいいというのですか。
Nazi slammed the desk hard, held her head, and cringed at the pain from her overwhelming headache.
ベルンカステル教は奇跡を司る。あの御人の前にイレギュラーと奇跡は驚くにも値せぬぞ。
将棋は確かにキングの真正面に敵の駒が突如現れることを認めたゲームです。
Yeah, but we're not playing shogi.
ですが、だからこそそこに隙間を作らぬ完璧な陣形を作り、キングを守る芸術的な城を構築します。
ならばやはり籠城は正しいではありませんか。
こもりきれる籠城ならばいざ知れず、今はそれを期待できる段階に
Yeah,
ありません。
time to put this castle on legs and get it to start fucking moving.
壁を背負わぬキングを詰めるのは難しく、四方を分けたキングを詰めるのはさらに困難だろう。ネズミで考えよ。カゴに閉じ込めたネズミを掴むことはできよう。しかし野に逃げ出したネズミを掴むことなど雲を掴むに
I
等
mean,
し
it's
い
not that hard. You
話
just
よ。
gotta send in a fox after it.
夏日様、どうか検討することのご許可を。金蔵様が書斎をお出になり、気まぐれに屋敷内をかっ歩しながら親族の方々の目を逃れる、それが自然である筋書きを明朝までに考えます。
危険では。それくらいならお父様がこの部屋で機嫌を損ねられていることを演じ続けた方が。
The bigger risk, the bigger reward, according to this magic system.
明日にも親族の方々はこの書斎の前に詰めかけるで
Not
しょ
that
う。
magic's real.
そこの扉
During this
一枚
two-day
向
period,
こう側に詰めかけるのです。そこで夏日様は金蔵様と怒鳴り合いをしているかのようなふりを一体何時間続けられるというのですか。不可能です。
その不可能を何とか36時間逃げ切らねばならないのです。やれと言うならやります。私は後宮夏日、
Yeah, that's not saying much.
後宮家当主の妻です。それをやれと言うなら
Not the big
私は
accolade you
何
think
日
it
でも
is.
ここでお父様と怒鳴り合いをしているところを演じましょう。
Even Natsuki understood that there was no way she could manage it. But she could no longer see any chance of victory from a plan which involved making an illusion of Kinzo walk around. Banging on the desk several times, with tears of intense emotion streaming down her face, Natsuki altered between groaning from her headache and placing the blame on one thing or another. It was enough to make one feel that there was a curse which made anyone who sat in the chair do the same.
これは奥様が逃げる詰め将棋ですな。詰め将棋ですから相手のキングはない。
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the term.
決められた手数を逃げ切る以外に奥様に勝つ手はないのです。
その手数があと1日半もあるなんて多すぎます。
Yeah.
考えることをやめるでない。降参するでない。愚痴はわらわが聞こうぞ。だから音を上げるでないぞ。
Bouncing ideas off each other.
そなたの絶対にこの苦難を乗り越えようという絶対の意志が絶対の結果を紡ぎ出す。それこそが絶対の魔女の力。その魔力を失ってはならぬ。必ず乗り越えられると信じよ。きっと妙案は浮かぶ。だからそれを考えることを投げ出してはならぬ。
I mean, that's asking a lot of
そうで
Natsuki.
すね。分かっています。私が乗り越えねば他の誰にも乗り越えられぬ困難なのです。
そうとも。
Well, yeah, because you're the only one in this position and no one else can because they're not in the position.
それを乗り越えてみせよとそなたは金蔵に託されたのではないか。金蔵はそなたなら託せると認めたのだ。
お父様、お父様。
お師匠様とロノウェが手
Yeah,
は
fucking
考
pull it
える。
together.
もちろんわらわも考える。だが主であるそなたの許可なくばそれも許されぬ。だからせめてそなたは戦う意志を捨てるな。諦めるな。
分かってます。分かってます。でももう
Mhm.
疲れ切ってしまって
Gonna be grave by the end of this
頭痛
fucking
が耐えられなく
weekend.
て。どうして私はこんなにも冷え切った書斎でたった一人で泣いているの。どうして主人は今ここにいてくれないの。
He's too busy thinking about fucking theme parks and, fucking moon tourism. Back when dinner ended, Kraus claimed to be dizzy and went to bed early. Of course, he had done this to get enough rest to ready himself for the long day ahead. But to Natsuki right now, it felt as though he had just gone straight to sleep and pushed all the burden onto her. However, complaining about such a thing would mean that she had failed as a wife. Wasn't it a good wife's duty to work hard and think of the family first, even when her husband was resting? Forgetting even her anger at her husband, and unable to determine whom she should be angry at, Natsuki continued to sob. Hey, you put yourself in this situation, you have no one to blame but you. If only Kinzo could just speak to her kindly at times like this. Ito searched for him, but Kinzo had been nowhere to be seen in the study for some time now. Perhaps Natsuki had noticed this as well. Though she took pride in fighting alone, supporting from behind, thinking of those as the responsibility of a good wife, without anyone to validate what she was doing and say it was needed, she was now so frail that she couldn't even stop her own tears. Just as Byato was thinking of words she could use to console Natsuki, Julia tapped her lightly on the shoulder. If words of consolation don't come from the mouth of the right person, they can sometimes do more harm than good. Therefore, Virgilia silently urged Byato that saying nothing was the best course of action for now.
ああ、お取り込み中にごめん
Yeah,
なさい。
just the person we needed.
部外者だけど発言いいかしら。
ガープ、今は慎みなさい。
いえ、この場にいる限り部外者も客人もありません。発言を許します。
ありがとう。さっきロノウェアは言ったわ。これは夏日が逃げる詰め将棋だね。 詰将棋はどうして負けるの？
I don't know, because I'm unfamiliar with
キ
it.
ングがチェックメイトされるからでしょ。言われるまでもないわ。そして敵にはキングがいない。だから夏日は自分のキングを逃がし続けるしかない。
So it is like explained, and I just wasn't paying attention because I was too busy thinking about my tea.
なるほど。その手ですか。もうその時が来ましたか。
No, not that move.
どういうことです？何か手があるというのですか？
夏日はゴールドスミスの死を隠す一番最初に提案してるわ。それを使う時が来たということよ。
失踪ですか。その一手を親族会議の今指すというのですか。
Fairly suspicious, and also your mouth wasn't moving there,
危
Nazi.
険すぎます。
After successfully resolving all of their problems, they would have to lay Kinzo to rest. And the way to do that was to make him disappear. One day, Kinzo would go out into the forest and never return. They wouldn't be able to find him no matter how much they searched, so he would be declared missing.
さっきリーチェも言ったわ。野に逃れたネズミを捕まえることはできない。そして森に消えたゴールドスミスを捕らえることもね。
Yeah, he just wanted to go live with the animals.
それで
Eccentric
言い逃
rich
れられ
people
ると。
thing.
この最も疑われた今に
Ran off
その
naked
一
into
手
the
を指
woods,
すな
never
ど
to be seen again.
まさに自殺にも等しい一手です。
疑われるでしょう。まさに疑惑と呼ばれるに等しい一手でしょ
Yeah, but there's no body. They can't say nothing.
う。しかしこの書斎に彼らが踏み込もうともぬけの殻、金蔵様を捕らえることは永遠に不可能で、その死はこれほどまでに疑わしいにもか
Not
か
the
わら
cleanest
ず
resolution, but
立
a
証することが
resolution
で
nonetheless.
きない。
36時間どころか永遠に金蔵の秘密を守ることができるんじゃない？もちろんそれにふさわしいリスクを背負うことになるけれど。その一手を指せば確かにこの場を乗り切ることはできようが、失う名誉も計り知れぬぞ。
Mm-hmm.
それでも確実にこの場を乗り切れる一手よ。もちろん疑惑を大きく背負うわ。
No, better to take a bloody nose here than, losing your head.
でも死なない。
確かにそれはそうですが。
関東大震災で後宮家は本当だったら滅んでいるはずだったのよ。それを狂気の天才ゴールドスミスが再建して、あなたが守りたくなるくらいに立派に再建してみせたわ。なら今度はそれをあなたたち新しき当主夫妻がやってみせるべきなのよ。
Okay.
ほう、そういう煽り方をなさいますか。
煽りじゃないわ。当主夫人としての覚悟を私は聞いているだけよ。泥をすすってでも後宮家を守る覚悟があなたにはあるんでしょ。
Nazi's already drunk the Kool-Aid. She's on board.
あります。
今が
She doesn't have a whole lot
その時。
much other going for her.
泥をすすって生き延びられるならいくらでも飲み干しなさい。あなたは苦害を這いずって生き延び、やがては必ず栄光を取り戻す。この序列第33位のガープがそれを約束してあげるわ。
Thanks, God.
ガープ、私がこのタイミングでここへ遊びに来たのはきっとそれを望む偶然の神々のお導きでしょうよ。守ってあげる。後宮夏日、対価は不要よ。あんたに仕えてるリーチェからすでにたっぷ
Yeah,
り
you're just here
前
for the
払いされてる
entertainment.
わ。
Gop seemed quite cavalier, but she was actually possessed by a strong sense of duty. She was the kind of person who just couldn't leave someone in trouble alone.
前払い？はて、わらわがいつ？記憶にないぞ。
Well, you've been alive for over 1,000 years, you easy to forget things.
あなたがどこにしまったか思い出せないマジックアイテムの数々。随分とちょろまかせてもらってるもの。見つからないのはやはりそなたの仕業だったか。
Totally not that you're just a scatterbrain.
返せ！幻の金髄賞とムーンステッキ返せ！まだくっつけて遊んでないのに。私から授けられる魔法と作戦はそん
No
なとこ
fucking
ろ。
Maho Shoujo toys for you, Beatrice.
ゴールドスミスを 誰にも見つけられない世界へ私は隠すことができる。この魔法が必要になったらいつでも言って。その直前まで夏日は他のもっと無難な作戦を思案すればいい。
確かに選択肢を残すことは心のゆとりを残すこと、心にゆとりなくして妙案も生まれぬものです。
夏日様、
It's gonna have a little bit of breathing room.
夜は短くありません。ガープの手は最後の切り札とし、今は策を練りましょう。そのご許可をどうか。そして必ず成し遂げられるという信頼と魔力と絶対の信念を我らにお与えください。
Time to fully commit.
あんたが信じれば私がそれを叶えるわ。あんたが疑えばそれも私が叶える。未来。
Having Kinzo go missing and doing it right in the middle of the family conference. That was truly a last resort. Hiding this final trump card in her heart, Nancy decided that she would grope around for a different plan until the last second. After all, this long, long night had only just begun. And it was long not only for her. Bernkastel and her pieces had just as much time. Honestly, it's really hard to talk with my teeth, like, feeling funny. Being able to feel your teeth is, a fairly odd sensation.
これで完成だ。
なるほど、やはりえぐるとはそういう意味だったんですね。またしても私の推理は正解でした。
The feel of the last one was clearly different than all the ones before, making the two of them almost certain that they had activated some sort of mechanism. However, as far as a quick glance could tell, there was no dramatic change, such as the entrance of some sort of opening. Apparently, they would need to do just a little more before they could find it.
すげえよ、お前は。これで本当に黄金が見つかったら、俺とお前で山分けだな。
知的興奮を楽しめただけで十分です。私が好きなのは謎解きだけ。報酬はそれが正しかったことの証明だけで十
How
分です。
magnanimous of you. She shrugged it off, saying that just seeing the gold would be enough. Then she crouched down, peering fixedly at the gimmick that made up the key. It's no exaggeration at all to say that this girl really loves solving riddles. Her fondness for treasure hunting is fueled by romanticism regarding the process of finding hidden things, and she has no interest whatsoever in getting the treasure for herself and becoming a billionaire or whatever.
なるほど、よくもこんな仕掛けを。あなたたちの不運は私をこの島に迎えたことでしたね。ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで、フルドエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがでしょうか。
Alright, don't get too full of
皆様
yourself.
方。
As she said this to the mechanism she had exposed, she grinned at it. That smile had a bit of triumph on it, but it was more fully characterized by the small bit of unpleasant disdain it contained. After solving the riddle, she was probably reveling in the pleasure of having won against the one who had proposed it, as well as the way she could now scoff at this person.
これで黄金が見つかれば、次期当主はクラウスさんでなくあなたですね。
どうだろうな。
クラウスさんってちょっと傲慢な方じゃない
And
です
just
か。
a smidge.
偉そうって言いますか。そのクラウスさんが一夜明けたら、おいに黄金も次期当主の座もかっさらわれていたなんて、なんだか愉快ですね。
Erica was still crouched down as she spoke, her back to Battler. She toyed around with the mechanism.
ジェシカさんでしたっけ。私に意見した女の子。あの子、自分の父親が次期当主だと威張ってましたね。
I mean, you can't really blame her.
彼女は今夜が明け、バトラさんが全ての黄金を受け継ぎ、自分の父親がもはや次期当主で亡くなったことを知った
I
ら、
mean, probably a bit of a
どん
shock,
な表情を
but
見せるんでしょうね。
I don't think she'll be too bent out of shape.
別に俺は200億を独り占めする気は毛頭ねえぜ。ま、せいぜい1割ももらえりゃお腹いっぱいさ。あとは親族で仲良く分けりゃいい。次期当主なんて もっと興味がねえぜ。
Make it nice and even.
クラウスおじさんに喜んで押し付けさせてもらうぜ。
Maybe sell the head shit back to him.
果たしてそう簡単な話で済むでしょうか。それを推理することよりは、今はジェシカさんが明日どんな表情をしながら
Don't be too mean to Jessica.
どんな負け惜しみを口にするかの方が
She's a bit of a hothead, but she's not a bad person.
お前性格も悪い。
おや、謎解きが好きという時点で推理できませんでした？私、人が隠すことを
Intellectual rapist.
知的蹂躙者なんですよ。
That's a term.
自分の謎解きもそうです。
じい様が満を持して隠した黄金を暴いてやりたかったんだろ。
ええ、最初はそうでしたが、途中から目的が変わりました。
途中？何？
ジェシカさんです。私の推理に口を挟み、高潔かつ高尚な時間を汚しました。
You
だから
have some
ジェシカと
personality
いう子に
problems.
思い知らせたくて、自分の謎を解くことに目的を変えたんです。
You don't have many friends, do you, Erica?
本気で言ってんのか？
私はどん
A
な相手
pitiful,
でも
lonely
屈
little
服さ
creature
せ
you
ま
must
す。
be.
それが私の唯一の優越です。まだ推理必要ですか？後ろ宮ジェシカは私をムカつかせた。だから私は身の程を思い知らせてやりたくて碑文を解くことにした。そこから導かれる今の私の感情、
Yes, how sublime.
推理可能ですか？
All the dominoes are set, now you just need to flick them over and watch the whole thing tumble. This time, I turned my back on her in earnest. Did I get so caught up in the fun of this riddle-solving game that I allowed her to lead me into making a terrible mistake? That's right. I could have worked out that this would happen. Oh, words! The cadence of a sentence. I could have worked out that this would happen. With this riddle solved, the relatives will probably get into an uproar about who will be the successor to the head. Dad and Kyrie-san will probably make a fuss about how I, the discoverer, should be the successor, and the other relatives, not thrilled with that prospect, will probably oppose them. Despite how adamant Erica was about it, it wasn't written anywhere that the one who solved the riddle of the epitaph becomes the successor. Because of this, it'll lead to a fight between those who are willing to accept that and those who aren't. To reason out what will happen next, as Erica suggested, it will probably turn into an ugly fight between Uncle Kraus and the rest of the relatives. When Jessica finds out that I've solved the riddle, will she admire me or curse me? I don't want to think about that now. Erica was still mumbling. Apparently, she had already started trying to reason it out. As I began to feel very bad, I lazily gazed out into the black night. Then, I looked at a dimly lit outdoor light and saw the silhouette of a person in front of it. I thought I must be seeing things. After all, it was unthinkable that someone would have been standing there the whole time, pounded upon by the rain without even an umbrella. However, the silhouette didn't move an inch. Or maybe... No, it couldn't be. It was looking at me. And it was... Was it you? Oh, no. Just Kinzo. Grandfather. In that instant, I understood. Grandfather had probably been watching us solve the riddle the whole time. And he had seen us as we spectacularly solved the entire riddle of the epitaph. Fork over that ring, old man. Without a doubt, Grandfather smiled faintly. Grandfather, who had never worn any expression that wasn't moody or frightening, looked me in the face and smiled at me for the first time, as though he was saying, "Too smart for your own good. Or else, I never thought it would be you." However, this was the result chosen by grandfather's epitaph. So I was sure that he had accepted that result. He grinned one final time. Of course, he didn't use words. His smile seemed to be a silent expression of a single word. Superb. Subarashi. I didn't know how I should respond. I couldn't do anything but stand there in shock. Ignoring Erica, she crouched down, mumbling with her back towards me. Then, grandfather stretched a hand out from the folds of his cloak and pointed at something. When I looked in that direction, what I saw there, the thing he was pointing at, was probably the guidepost to the Golden Land. Go. Grandfather had undoubtedly said that one word. I nodded to show that I understood. Seeing this, grandfather nodded back, satisfied. Then, with a spin of his cloak, he disappeared, seeming to melt into the darkness. The expression on his face at the end was truly a finally satisfied smile.
聞いてます？バトラさん。
Not one bit.
私の推理。
見つけたぜ。あれが黄金鏡への道しるべ。
え？あ、さっきと向きが変わってる。
Or even are you guys anyway? This is like the path to the chapel, ain't it?
なるほ
It's
ど。
hard to tell because I think they've reused this background sprite for several parts on the island.
あちらへ進めという意味ですか。良い観察力ですね。
じいさん、教えてもらった。
え？金蔵さん？
You mean in like a metaphorical way, or...?
どこに？
行くぜ。見せてもらおうじゃねえか。黄金鏡ってやつを。
He started to walk. The entrance to the Golden Land was right there.
我が碑文がついに解かれたか。そしてバトラーがか。
What an upset.
愉快この上なし。
When I think about it, I was also ahead that no one saw coming. How interesting that the one who will succeed me as a head is also a person no one saw coming.
これにて我が生涯に一切の未練はなし。ベアトリーチェ、そなたのもとへ行くぞ。我が碑文が選びし奇跡を手土産にな。
Battler, of all people. Battler.
な我が生涯の最後の最後に我は真の奇跡を見たり。
So,
ベアトリーチェ
not quite cheating, but definitely had an advantage this round, considering the Burn Castell is controlling his piece.
この賭けは私の勝利だ。
Yep. Game's off. No one has to die, right? Right. Is a separate underground tunnel or the same one under that leads to like fucking Kuwadorian? Ooh. Don't try to dive into it like Scrooge McDuck. You'll just break all your
体食
bones.
性以外には金に換金物としての利便性を見出すことはできませんね。
It seems pretty obvious when you think about it, but if you just stack a bunch of coins on the ground and try to dive into them, it's just a solid. You know, there's no gap for you to slide through and then go shoot out like water. You'll just splat.
これを現金化するには随分の手間をかけそうです。
At the end of a crude underground tunnel, in a VIP room which was also so beautiful that it seemed out of place, there was a pile of gold so large that there could be no doubt it's 20 billion yen's worth. Erica was calm, but Valor couldn't suppress his excitement. As for which of the two was the correct reaction to show after seeing a mountain of gold, only those who saw the scene with their own eyes could say for sure. In this day and age, it's said that an average salaryman earns about 200 million yen in wages over his life. And this is 20 billion yen worth of gold. With every 1/100th of this gold mountain, a single human could live their entire life without working. What is labor? Isn't it the very point of a human's life, since a person who doesn't work cannot eat? If so, then 200 million yen isn't enough to make a single person's life complete. And this is 20 billion yen. This would account for the labor of hundreds of humans. No, a single human life 100 times over. Of course, if you still wanted to work, you could. Any money you gained as a result could all be used to play with. After all, you already have enough money to live your entire life. No, for eternity. No, wait. I mustn't keep it all to myself. I can split it up among 100 people. If I could create a world where the full 100 humans wouldn't have to work for their whole lives, just what kind of world would that be? My man's fucking Mr. Beast getting ready to plan a Squid Game. Yeah, there's no doubt at all.
ここが黄金鏡なんだ。
Certainly a land with plenty of gold.
というわけでベルンバトラは見事に黄金を見つけましたとさ。
End of story.
めでたしめでたし。
Pachi 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 pachi.
肝となる部分は少し伏せさせてもらったけど、そのくらいの意地悪はしてもいいわよね。
Just a bit.
ああ、そこは好きにしな。自分の謎がどういう謎なのでどういう答えだったのかという。大事なのはその結果、黄金が10トン発見されたという事実の方だ。
The gold was discovered in the third game as well, by Auntie Ava. Auntie Rosa had also witnessed it. However, the two of them hadn't spoken of the gold's discovery to anyone. In other words, there's a chance that the gold's discovery was a cat box truth kept between the two of them. Which meant that it was possible that the gold didn't exist and was just an illusion. Okay, I didn't think of that, but...
俺がとうとう見つけちまったわけだ。猫箱が開かれちまった。
副将ごっこは時間の無駄だから先にサービスしてあげる。この黄金の山は本物よ。
Thank you.
ここに積まれたインゴットは全て本物の純金。レプリカとか偽物とかそんな騙しは一切なし。
よし、わかった。この黄金は認めるぜ。だが認められないものがまだある。
Like?
そうよね。
Like seeing Kinzo?
会っちゃったものね。
Yeah.
金蔵に。
金蔵は幻想のはずなのに、あなたさっき出会っちゃったわよね。
I mean, people see a lot of weird things at night.
やっぱりこれは魔法なんじゃないのかしら。
Especially like when you're walking alone in the woods in the dark. It's real easy to think that you saw someone or something out in the leaves.
小酒。俺は一言もじい様と言葉を交わしちゃいねえ。じい様と言葉を交わしたような気持ちになっただけ。
Yeah, it was a spiritual experience.
いい加減にしろ。
Metaphor.
同じ手はもう通用しない。
ならほらどうぞ、青き真実。
おそらく俺は自分の謎を解き興奮状態にあった。それで何かをじい様と見間違えたんだ。例えばそれは暗がりの子たちに引っかかった何かのシートかカバーで。
Alright, sure.
それが漆黒のマントを羽織ったじい様に見えたのかもしれない。その結果、俺はじい様と何かのやり取りをしたように誤解したんだ。
青き真実、有効ね。まあ私も全く同じことを。
それで通ったのか。赤き真実で反論は。
ないわ。
Nope.
今のところはね。
The me, who let out a strange yell in front of the gold mountain, was finally starting to regain his cool. Now that we'd found it, there's no covering it up. I faintly thought about keeping this discovery a secret. However, Erica wanted to prove that her own reasoning was correct by announcing this fact to everyone. She really is an intellectual rapist, just as she said. The puzzle-solving game is what's important to her, and she doesn't intend to take any responsibility for what happens after the riddle is solved. riddle like this is like a lock. Locks exist to be locked. And whenever a lock is locked, there is a meaning behind locking it. Therefore, there should also always be a meaning behind breaking one open and exposing what it protects. However, this girl had made the exposure itself her final goal, and she doesn't plan on taking responsibility for anything that happens later. Maybe the true storm to hit Rokkenjima isn't the typhoon, but her. She won't keep this discovery secret. She'll definitely announce it to brag about her success. And then, she'll call a real storm down upon this island. I won't be able to keep this covered up. Then in that case, there's nothing to do except announce this fact fairly. I can imagine what will happen after that. As she grinned, Erica muttered to herself. She must have been predicting this uproar the relatives would soon bring about. To her, imagining that was much sweeter than 20 billion yen in gold.
ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで、フルガエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがでしょうか、皆様方。
Yeah, you're real good at stirring the pot now, ain't you? All you really did was shake up a fucking, like, jar of peas, then open it and toss it into a room and close the door. Knock, 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 knock. The sudden sound of someone banging fiercely on the door brought Natsuhi to her senses. They probably nodded off in the study while planning how they would overcome the next day. But what could it be? At a time like this? More importantly, the knock itself was strange. If someone had wanted to contact her, they could have just used the internal phone line. She told them that she would be here. Realizing that something strange was going on, Natsuhi shook her head one more time, completely throwing off her drowsiness.
お父様、お父様、エヴァです。至急、重要なお話があります。
It was Ava's voice. What is this? I thought I had told them to lock the doors and windows of the mansion tightly after everyone left for the guest house. So why is Ava here? Natsuhi ran up to the door, responded with a small knock, and spoke to the door in a quiet voice.
何事ですか、想像し。
夏日姉さん、なんでこんな時間にあんたがお父様の書斎にいるのよ。
Fell asleep on the couch.
静かになさいと申し上げています。当主様が何よりも沈黙と静寂を好まれることをお忘れですか。
今はそんなこと言ってる場合じゃないのよ。ご託はいいからとっととここを開けなさい。お父様を出して。
当主様は先ほどお休みになられたばかりです。
Yeah, you're gonna wake an old man up
何度
just
ご
as he
用
got
か
into
存じま
bed?
せんが、明日私が伺います。
あんたなんかに用はないわよ。いいからさっさとここを開けなさい。
Sometimes, all one's schemes and assumptions can fall apart due to the most direct, simple, and emotional of strategies. This is bad. If I open the door, Ava will probably throw herself forwards and rush into the study. Now, I can't even open this door. At that moment, the phone suddenly rang. It's alright. Both of the keys to the study are here. No one can open this door. Natsuhi inched away from the door and grabbed the receiver.
もしもし、夏日です。
私だ。まずいことになった。急いで客間に降りてきてほしい。
It was from Kraus. His tone was strained. What in the world had happened?
バトラー君とあのエリカという客人が
Found the gold!
魔女の碑文を解いて黄金を発見したらしいのだ。
それは。
I mean, all you have to do is carry back, like, you know, maybe just 2 bars, you know, one for each of them, because a gold ingot that big, it's gonna be real fucking heavy.
ルドルフたちが押しかけてきている。これからバトラ君が全員立ち会いのもとに黄金の場所に案内すると言っている。
書斎の扉の前でエヴァさんが開けろと騒いでいます。いつ開けたら書斎の中に押し入ってくるかもしれません。
わかった。
Yes, come restrain your sister.
私もそこに行く。エヴァには構わない。何もせずにそこにいるんだ。扉の前からエヴァを追い払ったら合図するからすぐに出てきたまえ。いいな。
After that, Kraus came up the staircase accompanied by Genji. A heated debate started between him and Ava. Open up! No, calm down. I did their voices backwards, but you know, who is who. In the middle of that, there was a small knock as a signal. Kraus had skillfully pushed Ava away from the door and distracted her. During that gap, Natsuhi slipped out of the study and quickly shut the door. Ava noticed this, and her face twisted in disappointment. But the heavy sound of the auto lock had already rung out, and the door had been sealed.
碑文の黄金が見つかったのよ。お父様にご報告するのが筋でしょうが。
He doesn't care.
それとも何？お父様にはそれを伝えられない都合でもあるの？
親父殿からは床についたら何があっても起こすなと厳命されていてね。それを守るのは当主代行の務めだよ。そうだろう、源氏さん。
Yep.
はい。親方様のお休みは何
Man
があ
needs
ろうとも乱
his
すこと
beauty
は
sleep.
それも時と場合によるでしょうが。だって碑文が解けたのよ。お父様には真っ先に知る権利
Small
があるわ。
potatoes.
もちろん明日当主様には全てを私たちから報告します。それが当主代行である私たちの役目ですから。
そんなの知らないわよ。いいからこの扉を開けなさいよ。
No.
お父様に会わせなさい。お父様、お父様、聞こえていますか？
Nope, he put on his earplugs and then his noise-canceling headphones.
エヴァです。ここを開けてください。話してよ。痛い。
私たちが話を聞くと言っている。やかましく
You're being
扉を
hysterical.
叩
Calm
くな。
yourself, Ava.
話してよ。話しなさいよ。
クラウス様、エヴァ様、
Yeah, you're being uncouth.
親方様がお休み中と申し上げております。これ以上はお控えください。
When Genji spoke firmly, the two finally ceased their scuffle. It seemed that Genji, the one who had spoken for Kinzo since they were very young, still possessed an air of dignity strong enough to handle both Kraus and Ava. Ava put her argument aside for the time being. She could worry about that after seeing the gold with her own eyes. After all, not even she had seen it for herself. Not seeing the others had managed to deal with this crisis somehow. However, the demon's move, which would sneer upon their efforts, was already in motion.
バトラが碑文の謎を解いたというのか。
Yeah, how uncharacteristically intelligent of him.
エリカなる娘にだいぶ助けられたとはいえ、たどり着いたのはバトラーだった。エリカは黄金鏡の権利を放棄すると宣言している。よってバトラが黄金鏡にたどり着きし者だ。
運命とは実に面白いものです。バトラ様がたどり着くとは。
What the
どうす
twist?
るのですベアト。碑文の謎を解く者が現れたなら儀式は取りやめる約束ですよ。
Yep, it's over before it even began.
そういう取り決めであったな。
Now, no one's gotta die. Ain't that
そうい
nice?
う取り決めだ。
バトラ様はどうやら黄金鏡の主となられるおつもりがないようだ。我らの主となる者はもはや現れぬよ
Yep,
うです。
time to get all your furniture sold off at a fucking estate sale.
それもまた運命です。ゴールドスミス教とのご縁で人間の世界に権限して数十年。
It's just an airplane flying overhead. It's pretty loud, so I had to take off my headphones and be like, God damn.
とても楽しい時間でしたよ。
やだ、リーア。ババ臭い。で、どうするわけ？リーチェとゴールドスミスのルールなら、バトラが碑文を解き、主となることを選ばない以
I
上、
don't know. Free to do your own thing, I guess?
私たちはこれでお役御免じゃないの？
Sure.
そうであるな。私に未練は何もない。いつでも呼吸とすへ蹴落とされる覚悟はできておるぞ。
待て、そうはいかぬ。そなたの心残りはないかもしれぬが、わらわはまだ夏日に仕えておるぞ。
What, and you're gonna fucking drag them all around
バ
with
ト
you?
ラが碑文を解いたからお役御免では、あまりに義理を書くというもの。魔女は契約違反を許さぬが、 不義理もまた許されぬ。
でしょうな。親族会議を終えるまではきっちりとお使いするべきでしょう。
Alright,
と
fine.
なるとゴールドスミス教も
Convenient excuse
も
to
うし
keep
ば
you
ら
guys
く
in
は
the
お役
story.
御免とはなりませんね。無事に親族会議を乗り越え、せめて夏日様にお別れの挨拶と、もしできるならこれまでの努力をねぎらわれるべきかと。
Nah, Nazi doesn't get nothing.
あれもよく愚足を支えてきたものよ。
貴様など片葉をもがれた打天使ではないか。揃わぬ翼なら置き土産に捨て
And
てい
then
け。
fucking Sephiroth.
それもよかろう。夏日ならば我が翼を背負うにふさわしいかもしれぬ。しかしここからが正念場とな
Yeah,
る。
you can worry about bringing your clothes to the tailor to get embroidered, once this is all over.
無事にこの試練を乗り越えてみよう。夏日。
Oh god, I opened my mouth to yawn. Oh god, why is my throat so dry? I'm fine. That sure is some gold. The mountain of gold left everyone speechless. Regardless of how strongly they had believed in its existence, no one could look at this much real gold and not be shocked.
こんな場所があるなんて。
Also, who lit those candles? You know, someone's got to be coming down here to replace those.
信じられん。親父め。
Everyone was stunned by the gold. The first one to break the silence and jump about in ecstasy was Hideyoshi. Letting out an excited laugh, he clung to the wall of gold. And he felt the cold, hard touch of it all over his cheek. The cheek on his face, I would hope.
これはすごいで。ほんまもんやで。
親父め。こんな黄金をこんなふざけたところに
Oh,
溜め込みやがっ
Kinzo,
て。
what a guard.
これだけあればもう何も怖くない。
Yep, don't need to shake down Kraus anymore.
どんな試練だって乗り越えられる。ローザー姉さん姉さん、これで
So,
私たちは幸せになれるよね。
you do know you have to pay tax on this, right? Like, at least I would assume Japan has an inheritance tax. Unless you're just gonna, you know, keep this all under the table and not report it. Ava and Rosa started walking towards each other at the same time and hugged each other as they broke down crying. Ecstasy and shock, wonder and sighs. After stepping forward in front of the pile of gold that caused these mixed emotions, Erica spoke as though she were an announcer in some show.
この世が金なら、この黄金は幸せの結晶です。おめでとうございます。皆さん、この発見が皆さんの人生をより豊かなものにすることを心よりお祈りいたしております。
脱帽だわ。この島に来て丸一日さえ過ごしてないあなたが
一日で
Just
解
at the right
けないなら
viewpoint.
何日をかけようとも解けません。灰色の脳細胞はひらめきを与えるのに瞬きする以上の時間を必要としませんので、そして私一人ではこの謎を解くことはできませんでし
Yeah,
た。
it was a team effort.
バトラさんの功績もどうか称えてあげてください。私はこの発見を放棄します。推理が正しかったことが証明された
Might
だけで
not,
もう
just
満足
maybe
してい
putting
ま
that on
すの
paper
で、
real quick.
黄金発見の功績のすべてをバトラさんに譲りたいと思います。私はここにおりますが、イボはいないものとしてどうぞお話をお続きください。
Yeah, just go be a little
バ
wallflower.
トラさんはいとこの皆さんに気づかれぬように大人の皆さんだけを呼び出しました。それが意味するところはただ一つ。皆さんに本当の親族会議を開いていただきたいからに他なりません。
エリカ、
You done emceeing?
勝手に仕切るんじゃねえ。
これは失礼しました。それでは 理事の進行役を譲ります。では誰に？
Shrugging, Eriko looked around at everyone. After a short period of silence, Ava made the first move.
昼間の取り決め、全員忘れてないでしょうね。
ああ、4人で25億ずつを山分けだ。そして次期当主にはさらに100億。
お待ちなさい。黄金の発見が次期当主を決めるなどと誰が決めたのですか？
Well, what do you mean? It's right there on the epitaph.
おっと、そうはいかんで、夏日さん。
No, it may not be written entirely clearly, but
これまでずっとそれを前提に話を進めてきたはずやで。今さらそれは白々しいとちゃうんか？
そうだわ。使用人の誰かが秘文を
yep,
解いて
time
し
to
まっ
get
て
ganged up on.
次期当主を名乗るかもしれないって怯えてたのは夏日姉さんじゃない。
どこにもそうだという明記はないのに。
卑劣感！私たち全員はそういう認識だったでしょうが。
It's not his
そう
fault
だ
you
ぜ
guys
兄貴。
misinterpreted it.
今さら手のひらを返そうってのか？
明文化されてなくてもそれは間違いなく私たちの共通認識だったはず。話にもならないとおっしゃるのはどうなのかしら。
当主様の秘文を勝手に解釈されるのは困ります。黄金を見つけたらそのものが次期当主
Well,
になると
just
どこ
go
に
wake
記
up
されている
Kinzo
と
and
い
we
うの
can
です。
ask him.
当主様の秘文は当主様が決めたもの。皆さんに決めつける権利などありません。
夏日、落ち着
They're
き
being
なさい。
hysterical.
これが落ち着けるというのですか？確かに秘文を解いた功
Take your
績は素晴
Valium.
らしいと
That's
思
how
い
you
ま
can
す。
calm down.
バトラ君にも何かの見返りがあっても良いとは思います。しかしそれが半分というのは明らかに逸脱していますし、それ以上に発見者だから次期当主という論法はなおまかり通りません。
卑怯だわ夏日姉さん。今日の昼間にしてた話と全然違う。
同感だぜ。明文化されてなくても秘文を解いたやつが次期当主になるってのは俺たちの不分律で最前提だったはずだ。それをこの土壇場でごちゃごちゃ言い出すのはフェアじゃねえぜ。ああ、フェアじゃねえ。
とにかくこの黄金はお父様の黄金です。お父様の許可なく
Well,
勝手に分配を決めていいもの
It's
では
gonna
あ
be
りませ
tough
ん。
getting that.
そらない。そら卑怯やで、夏日さん。わしらその話を延々と昼間にしたんやで。昼間の話を全部チャラや言うんか？
Yes.
そらあんまりやで。
多数決で決めればいいのよ。黄金を発見したバトラ君が次期当主。私も夫も異議はないわ。ルドルフたち
Yeah, you
は。
guys are outnumbered here.
ローザは？
意義なんかねえぜ。バトラー、よくやった。
私も異議はないわ。バトラ君は秘文に選ばれた正当な跡継ぎよ。不満ならお父様に直接聞けばいいんだわ。
そうね。
Well,
夏
about
日姉さ
that.
んの言った通り秘文の謎を出題したのはお父様。そしてこの黄金の本来の持ち主もお父様だわ。だったらお父様に話を聞くべきじゃないのかしら。バトラ君という発見者はどう扱われるのか、それについて決めていいのはお父様だけのはずだわ。
Yeah, it should be real easy to get that clarification now, shouldn't it?
それは
だから落ち着けと言ったのだ。
ローザとキリエさんの言う通りだわ。お父様に聞きましょうよ。もはやね、兄さんたちの出番じゃないのよ。
せやせや、お父さんを連れてこんかい。あんたらじゃ話にならへん。ほんまの親族会議を始めようやないか。眠いから明日にしろっちゅう問題に見えまっか。
Mm-hmm.
これ舐めとったらえらい問題になりますぜ。おう、聞いとるんかい。お前らじゃ話にならん言うとるんや。たったとお父さん連れてこんかい。
Well,
親族会議っていつもこういうのなんですか？
when they involve money, yeah.
俺が知るか。
腹の中ではいつ
It's
も
not
こうなの
unusual
でしょう
for
ね。
inheritance to go to the courts to get all the issues and grievances worked out.
どうも、この場は金蔵さんじゃないと収められなくなるみたい。子供の喧嘩に余命あとわずかと宣告されてる今になってもまだ呼び出されるなんてどういう気持ちかしらね。
He feels nothing because he's been dead for a long time.
それを想像 いいえ。
The parents ignored Battler and Erica and kept yelling at each other, on and on. Even though Battler had more or less imagined that this sort of thing happened behind the scenes, this was the first time he had seen it. He had suspected it since 6 years ago, and he'd been able to get a pretty good idea of what this was like by darkening expressions on his parents' faces when this time of year drew near. However, this argument that his relatives were having before his very eyes was much more ugly than he had imagined. He was very glad that he had called the adults over here without letting the cousins catch wind of anything. Perhaps because everyone was tired out from the seemingly endless argument, they took a short break. It was decided that this family conference inside the Golden Land should be moved over to the mansion. This place may have been gorgeous, like a VIP room, but there's also no ventilation, and it was a little cold. It wasn't well suited for a long conversation. They thought of the possibility that someone might carry the gold away while their backs were turned, but it wasn't as if anyone could manage much with just human hands in a small amount of time when they had 10 tons of gold to deal with. In fact, it seemed as though having this mountain of gold in the background was robbing them of the ability to make sound decisions. So they agreed to return to the mansion, in part so they could regain their composure and continue the conference more ruthlessly.
So れでは私は今夜はこれで失礼します。これ以上はお邪魔でしょうから。
お、悪いな。気を使わせちまったか。
あなたへのお礼は明日改めてさせてちょうだいね。
Yeah, you can at least take one gold bar with you on your way home.
恥ずかしいところを見せてごめんなさい。
あなたは辞退
Just
す
don't
る
let
と
the
言った
IRS
けど
find out about it.
私たちはあなたへの感謝の気持ちを込めて第一発見者の一人にふさわしい分け前を用意させていただくわ。ねえ兄さん。
君ほどの人だ。我々の事情は察してくれると思うね。
$20 billion yen in gold wasn't something they wanted out in the open. They didn't want an outsider like Erica telling people about it. Of course, Erica had already deduced that much. She wore an unpleasant smile on her face, as though she understood all too well.
私のことはお気になされなくて結構です。もちろん口外する気もありません。したところで証拠を示せぬ限り誰も信じないでしょうし、今夜は良いものを見せてもらいました。眼福でしたので、私はこれでもう十分です。
10トンの黄金なんて、なかなか見られるものじゃないもんね。
I don't think that's what she was talking about. Didn't see the gold was a feast for the eyes? Of course not. From Erica's dark nature, it was easy to guess that what she was so happy about seeing. I thought about telling her to get the hell out of here already, but I wanted out myself. I tried to head back to the guest house along with Erica. However, Kiryu-san grabbed my shoulder.
バトラ君はダメよ。あなたも一緒に来てちょうだい。
Yep, this involves you.
せやせや、君は今や立派な次期当主なんやで。お父さんにお目通りして早くそれを認めてもらわんとな。
それを決めていいのは当主様だけです。勝手なことを決めないように。
バトラ、面倒だろうがもうしばらく付き合ってるはず。お前は何も言うな。黙ってうつむいて。
Yeah, just let your fucking dear old man here take care of everything, huh?
好きにしなね。
It would have been easy to say that I had no interest in being successor to the head, but I was sure that would only add more oil to the fire. Even if I hadn't been ordered to keep quiet, I was certain that staying shut up like a clam was the wisest thing to do. In that case, would it really be so bad if they just let me go back to the guest house? Dad put his arm firmly around my shoulder, and I told him to quit crowding me. But it didn't make any difference.
解けたな。お前のお望み通りに。お前がゲームマスターの時にはいつも手紙が来るもんな。碑文を解いてみろ。解けなきゃ皆殺しだ。
Well,
みたいな。
now they did. What now? Why did she want to make us solve the riddle of the epitaph? By solving it, we found a mountain of gold. Yippee for us. But what about Beato? Does she gain anything by having us find the gold? Or does she lose something?
チェスパン思考にのっとる限り、人は自らが損になる一手は打たない。
Unless it's a sacrifice play.
だからお前は、俺たちが碑文を解くことで何か得をするはずなんだ。
いいえ、碑文を誰かが解くことで、この子が何かを得ることはありません。
いいのか、こいつに断らずに、勝手に赤き真実を使っちまっても。
Oh, hush.
この子もそれを望むでしょうから。
Virgilia, who had suddenly appeared there, gave me an immediate answer to my question with the red truth.
俺は過去に、ベアトが碑文を俺たちに解かせようとするのは、黄金の隠し場所を見つけさせて、横取りするためだと推理したことがある。それも違うのか？
Yeah.
第一、もともと黄金鏡の黄金はこの子のもの。見つけさせる必要も横取りする必要も何もありません。
Of course. Beato is Beatrice the Golden. She's the master of the Golden Land and the Ushiromiya family alchemist. That makes total sense. However, if that's true, that makes me even more confused. Even if someone exposes the answer to the epitaph's riddle, Beato gains nothing. No, to the contrary, she might get her own gold stolen away.
なら、ますますにわからない。碑文殺人はわかる。後ろ宮家に対する復讐とか、あるいは魔女としての力を復活させるための儀式とか、こいつなりの理由や目的があってやってるんだろうからな。だが、碑文の謎を解けというのにはどんな意味があるんだ？俺たちが解いても解かなくても、こいつに得るものは何もない。
What's your angle on all this, Beato?
つまり、ベアトにとって碑文の謎が解ける解けないという問題は無価値なものなんだ。
そうですね。碑文の謎が解けても解けなくても、この子にとって得るものは何もありません。
解けても解けなくても、それはつまり碑文の謎自体がベアトにとって無価値だということになるんじゃないのか。
そうですね。碑文の謎はこの子にとって何の意味もない。ならばそれを無価値であると極論しても言い返せないかもしれませんね。
Beato, why were you making us solve the riddle of the epitaph? If we liken the witch you are to a pair of scales, the epitaph murder lie on one plate, and the riddle of the epitaph lies on the other plate. Because she's saying she'll stop the epitaph of murders if the epitaph is solved. In other words, the epitaph murders and the epitaph's riddle are worth the same to Beato, like two sides on a balanced scale. That means that the epitaph's riddle and massacring the entire family have equal significance from Beato's point of view. But Virgilia responded with the red text. Regardless of whether the epitaph is solved or not, Beato has nothing to gain. If she has nothing to gain, then this epitaph's riddle is meaningless and immaterial to Beato. In that case, how much are the epitaph murders, which lie on the other side of the scale and are equal to the epitaph's riddle in value, worth to her? Think. Don't stop thinking. The epitaph murders and solving the riddle of the epitaph have equal value. As long as the epitaph murders, which are Beato's goal each time, have this single way that they can be stopped, a way that she decided on herself, both are worth the same thing to her. The way she decided on her by herself? I feel like decided by herself would be the more, like, correct way, but what do I know? x equals y. And whether the epitaph's riddle is solved or not, Beato gains nothing. Y equals 0. So in this case, what is x?
おいおい、それじゃ非分殺人もまた無意味無価値ってことになっちまうぞ。
Yeah, but they were kind of funny.
こいつはご丁寧に予告状を出し、非分に沿うように順番にバレないように次々殺していくというめちゃくちゃ面倒な手間を払ってまで毎度あのおかしな連続殺人を起こしてるんだぜ。その意味がなくなっちまうじゃねえか。
I flipped over the chessboard many times exploring Beato's moves. This was always the first place I stumbled. The significance of the epitaph murders. Why did she have to commit serial murders in a way which reproduced the witch's epitaph? She wanted to kill the whole Ushiromiya family for revenge. It would be much simpler, safer, more reliable if she just put poison into their dinner. Or else went around killing people one by one in the middle of the night while they were sleeping. However, on the first evening, Beato sends us a letter that sounds like an advance notice, and then carries out what could be broadly described as a 3-part serial murder, killing 6 people on the first twilight, 2 on the second, and 5 on the fourth and later. We aren't fools. Once the first murders occur, we barricade ourselves in somewhere to stave off any further murders. Furthermore, we quickly suspect a culprit among us and start analyzing each other's alibis. As the victims increase, the numbers of suspects decreases automatically, and Beato's chance of completing the serial murders drop closer and closer to 0. Everything about the epitaph murders is full of useless ornament and empty decoration. That only seems to make it harder for her to carry out the serial murder.
こいつは自分で自分の目的の難易度。
そうなりますね。おかしな子ですね。
Oh, that's one word to describe Beatrice.
知ってるか？ミステリー小説ではこういう非分殺人のことを見立て殺人という。
No, I didn't, but it seems like something.
この見立て殺人が行われる理由を俺は3つに大別できると思ってる。
伺いましょう。
一つは非分に沿うことで証拠やアリバイをごまかし犯人に利するためだ。死んだふりをして自らを犠牲者に混ぜる古典もこれだし、非分に沿わずに殺人を犯しその発生順序を誤解させることによってアリバイを作るのもこれだ。
なるほど。非分に沿って儀式的に殺していると見せかけて実は自分に利するように誘導しているわけですね。面白いと思います。
だが俺たちのゲームでは死者が赤でとどめを刺されちまう。ゲーム版の世界ではごまかせてもここから俯瞰する俺たちはごまかせない。だからこの最も王道となる目的は違うってことになる。
Then what would it be, my good man?
となると見立て殺人を行うあと2つの理由は
I don't know, send a message?
一つは偶然。意図せずして行った連続殺人がたまたま非分をなぞる形になり目撃者たちが勝手に見立て殺人だと誤解するケース。
Alright, fair.
人間はどのような事象にも因果性を求めてしまう。
Goddamn fucking pattern-seeking
きっ
brains.
とそうに違いないと思ったらそう見えてしまう生き物だ。
なるほど。それも面白いですね。ですがどうでしょう。この子のゲームでは第一の晩の殺人以前に常に事件が予告されている。そして明白に非分殺人を遂行していることを示す手紙や状況証拠が次々に見つかるはずです。
ああ、そうだな。偶然なんかじゃない。
Which leaves us with door number 3.
ベアトは初めから非分殺人を見せつける目的で遂行している。俺たちが誤解してるんじゃない。これは明白な見立て殺人だ。
told that we're following the epitaph.
だからこの理由でもない。
となると最後の一つの理由になりますね。
最後の一つは見せつけること、つまり恐怖だ。非分に沿うということは 殺人が連続するという明白な予告だ。
She's pointing to the WrestleMania sign.
生存者たちは続くに違いない殺人にずっと怯えさせられることになる。
Cutting a promo.
つまりこの子は死の恐怖を味わわせるために非分殺人を。
と思うと割と収まりがいい。グロい遺体
Yeah,
損
she's
壊
doing
も
it to fuck with you.
悪趣味な
'Cause
装
it's
飾も
funny.
すべて俺たちを怖がらせるための演出。
誰を怖がらせるためなのですか？
だからそれ
Yeah,
は
the
俺たち
group as a
を
whole. After hearing that one line Virgilia spoke so casually, my thoughts clouded over once again. Is it really enough to just use the vague word us? There are a lot of people in the Ushiromiya family. There's the head and the one who holds the rank of his successor, grandfather and Uncle Kraus. Our parents, who have some pull in the business world. On the other hand, you have the young cousins, who usually visit at most once a year. And the unfortunate servants, who just happen to be on duty. Even if the culprit hated all of us, he probably didn't hate us all equally. In other words, they might make it clear which of those among us they particularly wanted to take revenge against and terrify. If we liken this to a kid eating desserts, isn't the strawberry on top of the shortcake the part you should eat last? Or is it the one you eat first, that way no one else steals it? No one tells you that you shouldn't eat it first, but our mentality leads us to saving it for later.
じゃあ最も恨んでいる人物を最後まで残したがるってことになるよな。
Kind of weird that you've made it to the end in all the rounds, bud.
ああ、俺の好きな小説の好きなキャラが言ってたぜ。そいつの親しいものから先に殺していって悲しみを味わわせてから最後に本人を殺すってのが一番恐ろしい殺し方なんだ。
Man, you're reading some fucked up books, bud.
恐ろしい小説もあったものですね。桑原桑原。
じゃあ最後まで生き残るやつが最もベアトに恨まれてるって論法になるぜ。しかし毎回殺される人間も順序もめちゃくちゃじゃねえか。最終的には死ぬにせよ最後の晩まで毎回生き残るやつなんて。
Yeah. There's only me.
先に赤で申し上げておきましょう。バトラ君は犯人ではありません
Yeah, we
よ。
know.
バトラ君は誰も殺してはいません。これは全てのゲームにおいて言えることです。
ならなおのこと俺ってことになる。
I mean, and you already asked her about it, and she gave a pretty obvious deflection.
こいつが非分殺人を起こす唯一の理由は俺に見せつけるためってことになる。
Pito's always making out that she chooses who to kill next by roulette. But I'm an exception, the only exception. Though she does kill me in the end, she always leaves me be until the very last moment. Well, I guess except for technically Game 3, but that one got hijacked by Ava, so it doesn't count. In all of these supposedly random games, there's only one unchanging constant.
こいつは俺に復讐を、俺に恐怖を味わわせるために非分殺人を行っているというのか。
それは違います。恐怖を味わわせるのが目的ではありません。
It's to send a message.
誰かに復讐するためのものでもありません。
ならやはり非分殺人には意味なんてないことになる。非分の謎も無意味、対となる非分殺人も無意味。
I want to say that.
X イコール Y イコール0だが、その無意味をこいつは明白に俺に対して見せつけている。無意味なことと同価値の何を俺に求めているんだ。わからねえ。考えれば考えるほどにこいつが何を考えてるのか俺にはわからねえ。
Wait a minute now, am I right, bud? Beatrice, the fickle witch who committed the meaningless, worthless serial murder. Even the riddle of the epitaph, which she made into a condition to suspend the serial murders, is meaningless, immaterial. And she's thrusting this meaningless, immaterial thing in front of my face. What is it that you want from me? Or else, what is it that you want to give me? My idea that Beato must be taking revenge on me has already been refuted and read by Virgilia. Both X and Y, both the epitaph murders and the epitaph's riddle, mean nothing to Beato. X equals Y equals 0. However, since she's thrusting that in front of me, it must have some meaning. She presents us a pair of scales representing, if you don't solve the epitaph, I'll carry out the epitaph murders. Neither the epitaph murders nor the epitaph's riddle have any significance by themselves. However, it becomes meaningful when she puts both halves on the scale and thrusts it before us. No, before me. In other words, it should be like this. X equals 0, Y equals 0. X plus Y are greater than 0. A scale with meaningless, worthless things on both sides. However, it has weight itself and gives the rest meaning. Rock, paper, scissors is the most immediate method of random determination of winner and loser. Well, it's not entirely random. There's like... You can do the thing where you tell your opponent what you're going to do, and that completely throws off the equation of, like, probability. You usually bet some sort of privilege on the outcome, but kids often do rock, paper, scissors just to play, without betting anything particular. Unless you bet something, nothing but a feeling of joy or disappointment will come out from a win or a loss. In other words, the two sides of the scale, winning and losing, are both valueless. However, the very act of seeing which way it will tip is the reason kids play rock, paper, scissors. After all, kids are enjoying the communication that surrounds the game. And they aren't purely interested in the value of winning or losing. They aren't overly concerned about who wins and who loses.
それじゃベアトにとって非分殺人は成功してもしなくてもいいものってことになっちまう。まるでその過程そのものを楽しんでいるかのようにさえ。
Yeah, it's like a fucking what's it called? Rube Goldberg machine, you know? Watching all the bits and bobs move and the bells and whistles, and in the end, all it does is like, I don't know, push a button or something, or fucking drop a little thing of confetti, whatever. You know, it's the journey that's the most fun. In the end, the Umineko really was the friends we made along the way.
以前の俺なら無意味な殺人を繰り返す非道な魔女だと決めつけ、こいつを罵っただろうさ。だが今の俺にはそうとは思えない。
ありがとう。だから赤をもう一つ与えましょう。ベアトは快楽目的で殺人を行っていることはありません。
She didn't do it for pleasure. She didn't do it to make anyone feel fear. She has nothing to gain from the epitaph murders, and she doesn't care whether they succeed or fail. It's almost like a random game kids would play.
違う。意味があるんだ。こいつには。
意味とは何ですか？
I don't know, the big battle of wits against you?
わからない。天秤の両端は無価値だ。こいつにとってこの天秤はしっかりと重みあるものなんだ。
Of course it isn't meaningless. Some meaning definitely exists. In the previous games, she urged me to remember my sin of 6 years ago. Was that meaningless too? No. There's no way that's the case. I clearly remember the serious look in her eyes at the moment. Unfortunately, I didn't have a clue what she was talking about. And she was devastated. That's right. At that time, I'm sure she even went so far as to say that the crime wouldn't have occurred if I hadn't come.
意味はある。こいつにとっては意味が。そしてそれを俺に求めてる。
I laughed softly and poked Beato lightly on the head, then patted her head.
ラブレターに次からは好きですと短く書くことを勧めるぜ。あまり回りくどくて難解だと
Yeah.
意味が伝わらねえぞ。
This is a little abstract, Beato.
こいつが何を考えてるのか相変わらずさっぱりさ。だが俺は考えることをやめないぜ。まだまだチェス盤をひっくり返せ。お前の思考をたどる旅を俺は絶対にくじけないからな。
Well, this is gonna be a long journey then. Alrighty, and with that is where we're going to end it here for today. Once again, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification. We'll see you guys all next time for the next episode of Umineko, and I'll be going into Premiere and fucking with my audio levels to see if I can get this to sound good. Yeah, fortunately, at least, I might just need to bump up my mic a little bit, because I think I put it a little lower than it normally is. But at least I'm not peaking the mic with every single word like I was when I was trying to set up this session. But, yep, that's all I got. Catch you guys later. Bye. Mwah.